Hi guys, this is Rajat Vikram Pradhan and I welcome you to my YouTube channel. Hello guys, welcome to the first chapter of your English course book. Today's chapter's name is Every Child is Free to be a Child. So this is the first chapter of your Unit 1 of your English textbook, Caring for Others. So this is a story about a man, a selfless man who has spent his whole life for making this world a better place for children. So, and you guys are children, so you definitely ought to know more about this noble man. So let us get into the chapter. See, caring for those in trouble, children in particular, often requires sacrifice and service, and that is true indeed. Means taking care of children requires a lot of selfless sacrifice and requires a lot of service. And what better examples of this statement than your own parents? I mean, your parents live a life of sacrifice and selfless service for you and your brother or sister if you have any. Now imagine a man who is like a parent to like thousands and thousands of children. I mean, that sounds like a really tough job, doesn't it? Sounds like he's a really great person, doesn't he? Well, let's find out. See, the story starts like this. The narrator is speaking. Over 50 years ago, on the first day of his school, he met a cobbler boy. A cobbler is a person who repairs shoes. So he says he met a cobbler boy his age who was sitting outside the gate of his school. So the narrator asks his teacher, why is he working outside and why is he not with us in the school? His teachers did not have an answer. They just kept quiet. So now the narrator, he gathered the courage one day and he asked the boy's father the same question. So the boy's father replied that he had never thought about it. We are born to work. So this sentence made the narrator very angry. See, this statement, we are born to work, means that person does not have any other choice. It means like an animal who is in the control of his master. Whatever the master makes the animal do, he has to do that. Similarly, this person said, when he said that we don't have a choice, we are born to work, this statement made the narrator very angry. And as a child, he had a vision that one day that cobbler boy will be sitting with him in the same classroom as him. Now he says that the time has come for that child to have a right to life, right to freedom, right to health, right to education, right to safety, dignity, equality, and right to peace. So this statement, this whole paragraph is part of the acceptance speech of Kailash Satyarthi in his Nobel Prize, and when he got his Nobel Prize in the year 2014. So Kailash Satyarthi is a person, Kailash Satyarthi was born in 1954 in the Vidisha district of Madhya Pradesh, and he is the best known child rights activist in the country. Child rights activist is a person who fights for the rights of children. Now reports say that he has freed more than 80,000 children from bonded labor. See, bonded labor is a type of labor in which you are forced to work for somebody but you do not have any rights. You do not get equal pay, you do not get adequate pay, neither do you have any and you are widely exploited by the person you work for. Now Satyarthi is highly educated. He studied electrical engineering and he obtained a postgraduate diploma in high voltage engineering. Now before he decided to spend his whole life in a life of advocacy against child labor and child servitude, he was a teacher in a college in Bhopal. So child servitude means is given here the condition of being a slave, right? So the children, they were not workers, they were like slaves to the people they were working for. They did not have any rights. So Kailash Satyarthi spent his whole life on in trying to advocate against this custom. This tireless campaigner for a children's rights activist established the Bachpan Bachao Andolan in 1980 with a vision to end the problem of child labor. So this campaigner Kailash Satyarthi, he established the Bachpan Bachao Andolan. Now this was a movement in the year 1980 and its vision was to end the problem of child labor. Now this organization became a mass movement and it identified, liberated and rehabilitated and educated child laborers across the country. See, the meaning of rehabilitation is to take somebody who is in a distraught condition, who is in a bad condition, to a place where they can get better, where they can have better living conditions. Liberated means to give freedom. So this organization BBA, they liberated and they gave freedom, and they took the children, the child laborers across the country to a place where they can have better living conditions, where they can have education, where they can have good food and they will be taken care of. Now this BBA, this organization has liberated more than 82,000 child laborers to date and continues to work to rehabilitate and educate them. And 82,000 is not a small number. See, I was just earlier giving you the example that taking care of like probably 2 or 3 of you is a big job in itself for your parents. Now taking care of 82,000 children by themselves is a huge task. Now back when this organization was formed, the issue of child labor was not widely discussed in public. Public people were not very much aware that child labor is something that is very important. Now this, when Satyarthi led rescue missions for children and others working in bonded labor in manufacturing industries, he was attacked several times but he survived. Obviously, see, a person who is trying to good thing in society often comes across a lot of problems, and the people who were employing these small children, they were rich people, they were influential people, and such people often have a lot of power with muscle or with money. So they did not let Satyarthi win so easily. He was attacked many times but he survived. These incidents of violence only strengthened his resolve to continue with his work. See, normally if you are trying to do something good and somebody discourages you not to do it, often we listen to them and we agree with them and we stop doing that work. But even though Kailash Satyarthi was attacked many times by people for this noble effort, still he continued with his noble work. See, not only rescuing thousands of children, Bachpan Bachao Andolan's efforts have also led to the framing and implementation of very important legislations. Legislation means laws on the issue of child labor in India, like the Child Labor Prohibition and Regulation Act of 1986, which includes a ban on child labor till the age of 14. So Kailash Satyarthi's movement and his organization was so influential that even the government took notice of it, and the government even implemented laws preventing people from exploiting the children. And because of him only, a law was produced because of which child labor is completely banned in India till the age of 14. In the year 1998, Satyarthi helped in coordinating the historic global march against child labor. So this march took place again across 103 countries and culminated in an international ban on child labor. See, he not only did all these great things in India, but he also did a movement which took place across a large 103 countries, and because of this movement There was even an international ban on child labor. So this person has done so much for the children. The children who marched with Satyarthi in 1998 were his inspiration, he has often mentioned. He says that those children who walked with him in that global march against child labor, they were his inspiration, they were his motivation, because they were so selfless, energetic, and committed to ending all forms of child exploitation. See, a person who has gone through so much of adversities, a person who has gone through a lot of pain, the pain of others, and does not want them to suffer through the same. Now, Sir Kailash Satyarthi has only one goal in life, which he said in his Nobel Prize acceptance speech, that is, his only aim in life is that every child is free to be a child, free to grow, free to develop, free to eat, sleep and see daylight, free to laugh, cry, free to play and learn, free to go to school, and above all, free to dream. And that is true indeed. See, we are human beings. We should have the freedom to do whatever we want. And if this freedom is taken away from us, then we are not humans anymore. We are probably less than animals who are kept in the slavery of man. Hence, this guy has spent his whole life in trying to make this world a better place for children, so the children can do whatever they wish to do in life. They can dream, they can eat and cry, not cry, yeah, that's cry. They are free to laugh, they are free to play and learn. So I hope you understood a little bit from this chapter, and I hope you learnt a little bit about this great man. I suggest that you read the chapter by yourself and try to find more things about him on the internet. Well, that is all for today, guys. I'll meet you in the next class. Thank you for watching.